in my statements. At one point I said I did, at one point I said I didn't.
So did you or didn't you?
I don't remember.
Do you think you would have remembered better at the time you were interviewed by the officers?
Remember what background checks stated?
Okay, I'll rephrase. As you sit here today, you are telling the jury you cannot remember whether or not you knocked on that back sliding glass door, right? Now, you were interviewed by officers on July 13th, 2013. Okay. You told those officers you went to her backyard and knocked on that door, right?
I believe I did.
Okay. So you did tell Detective Becker that, right?
From the statement, yes.
Yes, okay. So did you do that?
I don't remember.
But you do remember that you were trying to get her attention by knocking, correct?
Yes,
So we can agree on that. You were trying to get her attention that night?
yes.
Okay. And when you knocked on her front door, did you get her attention that first time?
Not remember. No.
And so you thought it would be expeditious to go through her gate into her backyard to get her attention, yes?
Yes,
Okay. And you saw there was light emanating through that back door, yes?
I thought when I saw the light emanating through that back door, yes.
And then what did you do?
I went back up, walked back through the side pathway, and came back up to the front door.
Okay, so you went into her patio, you don't know whether you knocked, you don't know whether you looked through the window, but then you decided to come back around through the gate to the front patio area, correct?
I know I did not look through the window.
Oh, now you know.
When you asked me if I looked through the window, I didn't say I looked through the window.
I thought about 45 seconds ago you told me you didn't remember.
I don't remember having,
Yes, mistakes is testimony.
I don't remember having done.
Excuse me, mistakes is testimony.
Sustain.
So now your testimony is that you know for certain that you did not look at that back door.
Mistakes is testimony, it's not what he said.
Overruled.
You can answer.
Can you repeat the question?
So now you're telling me that you're certain that you did not look through that back sliding glass door.
At no point did I ever look through anything that was in those doors. No.
Do you remember that specifically?
That was not my intention. My intention was to drink. My intention was to get her attention.
Objection, strike, non-responsive.
Overruled. Answer remains. Next question.
So you specifically remember not looking through that door, right?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't specifically remember what else you did on that patio?
Yes.
So there's a gap in your memory from the time you get to this corner to the time you certainly didn't look through that door.
There's many gaps I can't account for.
So you walk back into her front patio area. What do you do then?
I knocked again.
Where do you knock?
I don't know.
The front door.
Yes.
And this time, do you open the screen or do you leave it shut?
I don't remember if I opened the screen or not.
Are you sure you don't remember?
Okay.
But you distinctly remember knocking again at that point.
Yeah.
How long did you stand in her back patio?
I don't know. It was, to the best of my recollection, I walked down the path, I looked around the corner, and I walked back in.
So we're talking seconds. You knock on that front door. This is the second time you've knocked on the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens?
I hear someone say, "Who is it?" I announce myself as Efren Carrillo. And then I heard what was A man's voice coming through.
And what do you do at that point?
At that point, I leave.
And when you knock on that door and you heard that voice, how long was it between the time you knocked on that door and you heard that voice?
I don't know, seconds.
Seconds. And you said you leave. How do you leave?
I walked down the fence and came down in front of the fence towards Brockers.
All right, let me just clarify that. So, when you leave out, you hear that voice, you walk back out through this foyer towards number 7 here,
Yes.
and then which direction do you go in this diagram?
Right.
Right. And that goes back out to Brockers, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you went left, this is a dead end, right? This is all fenced down here.
There's a fence there, yes.
And to get to your apartment, you would walk back out this direction, up and around, way back to your house, right?
Yes. And that's when I was off the deal.
You encounter Officer Diaz out on the grass on Rockers Avenue.
Yes.
Mr. Carrillo, how long did it take you to walk from here out there to you encounter Officer Diaz?
7.
So, from the time you first came over to Jane Doe's house, the very first time you got there that night, it was a matter of seconds before you went back out and encountered Officer Diaz. Is that your testimony?
That night I wasn't the best color. You know, the way I was telling it is walk to the front, I walk to the back, I walk back to the front. It's natural.
You left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
So when you left your house, to go over to Jane Doe's, which hand did you have your cell phone in?
I don't remember.
Which hand did you have the 2 bottles of Pliny in?
I don't know. I can speculate what I would have done, but
Don't want you to speculate, just want to know whether you know or not.
I don't know where my beers and where the phone was.
So when you knock on her front door on the wood that first time, what hand are you knocking with?
I don't know.
So you don't have a specific recollection of knocking on that door the first time?
I know, I just don't remember how.
Were you knocking with the hand that had your cell phone?
I don't know.
Did you knock with your hand or did you knock with the beers?
I don't know.
So from the time you knocked first till the time you knocked and heard a voice, did you ever leave Miss Doe's property?
From the time that I knocked in the front, the time that I went to the back, the time that I went back up, I remember that sequence as being one sequence.
So you never went back around your house during that time period?
That's my recollection now.
So you spent quite a bit of time working on your back patio, yes?
I don't know.
Mr. Carrillo, you said you distinctly remember a light being on in that house, right?
At some point, I remember the light being on, was still on, they was dropping me off. And I remember that bright light, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, being on at some point.
That would be a light in her bedroom, right?
Yeah,
Remember that being on at some point, right?
at some point when I was dropping me off.
Mr. Carrillo, you come up to this house, knock on that window, see that bedroom light go on, and then go and hide in her backyard?
No,
No. At what point did you see that light come on in the bedroom?
it wasn't until I got back, so the knocking when I noticed the light was on.
And did you ever knock on her bedroom window?
Based on what I had read, yes,
You told Mr. Andrew that you actually tried to stick your hand through her window, right?
yes,
Okay. At what point did you try to stick your hand through her window?
I was not there.
Okay. And so was that before or after you knocked on her front door that first time?
I don't remember.
But you do remember at some point you tried to stick your hand through the window marked 8 through 13, correct?
I'm not in a position to dispute that. Yes,
I'm not asking you to dispute it, I'm just asking you if you did it.
yes, I did.
Do you know when that hand was stuck to the window in relation to when you first knocked on her door that night? Was it after you came back from her